And the first speaker is Oleg Yemelyanov, the founder of the company Nog QZ. And please, floor is yours, dear colleagues. Good afternoon. We are Nog QZ, not a company. It is the group of Kazakhstan operators. First, it was established as informal group. Now we are official, and now we have official network of operators from Kazakhstan, 36 members. We actively work, develop our sector, and I regularly measure our internet, try to measure to know the components of what are actors, what are rules of the game. And last year I made a similar presentation. It will be like last year, but we'll show in dynamics what have been changed, became better, but not a degradation. And Kazakhstan network of communication, current, present, and the future. First of all, about Republic of Kazakhstan. Republic of Kazakhstan is a large, big country, and the population more than 20 million people, and density of population is low. And we have 174 place in the world, and it is and it has an effect on the area of a telecom, because big distances and lines to be installed along the long distances. And we have uneven distribution. We have high density, low density areas, and it is a big problem in the development of telecom. Some statistics last year compared to this year, the speed test global index mobile, we had 64 place with 33.91 mbit per second. Now we take 56 place with indicator 48.31 mbit, and as to the global index fixed 94. Before we had now we have 52.17 megabit, and in the past we had almost 3 million households with fixed internet. Now we have more 3.12 million households with fixed internet. Number of subscribers of the mobile communication was increased. Now we have 65.6 million and users, and we have by 5 million more cards, and they have maybe more other reasons that they have more mobile phones, and number of fixed telephone lines was decreased. We had for 2.7, now 2.5 million. And about monitoring market, the market of communication, total volume of mobile communication in 2023, we had 2.56 billion USD. B2C, it is my area of work. It is 1.4 billion US dollars. In 2023, we have prevalent access to internet, about 1 billion US dollars bring. And by increase, we can see that we have more services like access to internet, less IP telephone, and we have regulator, and under the ministry we have a regulating body in this committee of telecommunication. Also we have communication inspection, and they check quality of communication, and they can measure that the services communication provided with not adequate level. And also we we have a RGP GRS, and they can check frequency, and communication inspection can impose penalties. Also, we have a state technical service, a joint stock company. It is big player. And Maksat here talk about TOIT, and also we have sourced it to the Center of Management of Telecommunication System. And there's another area, a special internet for public institutions, HD it is called, and by the law, all government institutions and some other agencies, they are connected to a protected internet for public service, which is called HD. And we have another actors, local executive bodies, KIMATS, and much depends on them. According to recent amendments in legislation, because some authorities are delegated to them, and the penalties for poor quality of communication will be their prerogative. They will impose these penalties. Also, we have communication operators and private IX associations like our the association Energy. And it is a second association. There may be there it is National Telecommunication Station. They will work more with bigger players. We have a smaller size, and vendor supplies, hoster, CDN. We have also we have legislation, the main law on communication. It was adopted in 2004, but amendments and additions are made, and we try to catch developments in technology. And the recent amendments were made on 9th of September 2024. It was the 99th amendment in the law. We try to be in line with the international requirements. Also, we have an order of the ministry on investment, and we show what to do and how. And there are many other regulations, very important to show indicators of quality, methodology to measure technical parameters on the service quality. Who are not happy with quality, they can understand how to do, how to enhance, and how to make liable operator who does not work in compliance. And also the operator of a communication physical or legal entity registered on territory of Republic of Kazakhstan providing services of communication or operating communication networks. And we think it is not correct, this is term, because operating, the person who operates this network of communication becomes operator, and the network of communication, it is a part of communication, and it means that if you have router and you become the operator of the communication. And it is a little bit wrong, and we work on this to make it more relevant. And also operator of international and intercity, communication operator of mobile, communication operators of satellite communication, and the services to get access to internet. It is not a licensed type of activity. We don't need license, but we have to notify the regulator. We have a portal, and it's from any corner of the world, any PC. You fill the template, and then notify that you start activity, but you have to meet qualification requirements to meet, and the most difficult to have the system of operational something, and the center of network management should be on the territory of Republic of Kyrgyzstan, and also to execute rules of service provision. And if you do not provide, then it will be administrative liability from 10 to 100 minimum salary. And also there are requirements to provide the quality services of communication, and they have to meet the technical parameters set by the legislation, and also to if you do not fulfill, you will pay penalties. And if you're a small entrepreneur, you pay less penalties. If you're a big entrepreneur, you pay more. And also requirements. And if we do not install the size, the swarm, then it is about 15,000 US dollars to pay to big operator if they do not fulfill requirements. And I said that services are not licensed, but for some types of communication, it is necessary to have license for international, intercity, telephone communication, satellite, mobile connection, communication, cellular communication, and recently amendments were made for satellite communication with using nego stationary communication Sputniks satellites and also about mobile operators. There are two fields. We have a group of the companies, Kazakh Telecom, with share of the market 62%. It works with two actors, Kcell, and Atel Tele2 mobile telecom service. And there's a second independent actor, and Atel Tele for 80% belongs to the state, and there's independent Beeline cartel. It has as a share of a market 38%. Also, we have some progress. Decision was made, and now the process to allocate and to sell a brand of Altel Tele2 to Qatar investor, and in the market, we will have three operators, and the three of them shall be independent, we hope, and one of them will belong indirectly to the state through Kazakh Telecom. And again, I would like to repeat, it is the conclusion of anti-monopoly monopoly institution that it should be two fields, and those who have access to internet subscribers 18.6 units annual profit earning of the mobile market. It is more than $500,000 US, half a billion US dollars, and license have to be got with commitments and requirements to provide the services in majority of the cities and the majority of the rural settlements. It is clearly written how they should work and how that the services of communication would be available and accessible across the country. And there is a tax additional will the mobile operators pay. It is 1.3% because more than 20 years we have such a concept that the universal services of communication, and this money used to subsidize subscribers from remote rural areas, and for them internet will be cheaper, and it means that the mobile operators subsidize work of people in internet in remote rural areas. Also, they have to buy frequencies and they are costly, and we had auction, and Kazakh Telecom bought for 327 million US dollars, and it is expensive. And we had many disputes, discussions, criticism, and 5G has only Kcell, the group of Kazakh Telecom. It is a huge amount of money. And as I said, we have operators of intercity and the international communication communicated operators. They also have to get license. They pay similar taxes, and they use these taxes for similar aims and procurement more than 10% of the shell company only with a permit of the state. And there is international traffic of other operators, and they can join the networks of other operators through the network of international operators, and the regional operator cannot get international connection. They have to be connected to international operator and then to get international communication. And all international operators, they're connected to the center of operation of communication. In law says clearly that between operator to the operators being in other countries, if they want to make a appearance, should not be done outside Kazakhstan, to do in Kazakhstan through international city operators. Also, international operators are obliged to connect it to XP of traffic and to send the whole traffic and to receive XP from other operators and to do it free. They should not pay. They do not pay and not charge also, and they have to pay this back traffic. And we will talk about it a little bit later. And totally we have 11 licenses issued to the operators. And this is a list you can see on screen and the current. And we would like to say that the operators haven't the allocated lines for operators, Kazakhstan, and then Trans Telecom, TNS Plus, Jusan Mobile in the western and the south part, and still SmartNet, they have a small local networks, and other operators, they work either above or do not work at all.
So, there's just a few other operators that have acquired a license, but they do not offer these services. Now, these are the operators of fixed lines. This is basically an estimate that because no accurate data is available. And indeed, the biggest player is the Kazakhstan Telecom, followed by Beeline, Alma TV, Trans Telecom, and Jusan Mobile. Alternatively, there are regional, smaller scale operators who operate in a single region or in a single area. Some of you may recall last year I've made an estimate that showed that regional local providers used to have about 3% less. Overall, my estimate is that there are 50 to 60 operators. And like I already said, the terminology is not very clear, and it's difficult to tell if a company is an operator or not. So basically, my estimate is around 60 operators across Kazakhstan. IXP in Kazakhstan are monopolized. That is, there's a monopoly for IXP setup. You already had a presentation about IXP across Kazakhstan in 18 cities. The traffic exchange is provided free of charge on the condition that you accept all traffic from all other peering from all other operators. Now, there are two traffic exchange points in the so-called gray zone. Then there are proposals to make changes in the law and allow private IXPs to exist. And this amendment will come into force soon, hopefully. There's still an obligation that this traffic can be exchanged only within Kazakhstan. Let me summarize the connection and interconnection issues. There is no exchange of KZ traffic outside of Kazakhstan. Traffic should be exchanged free of charge. All operators may be connected to traffic exchange points in the places and areas of their presence free of charge. Operators may make peering agreements with each other. It's not prohibited. Now, there are quality indicators in place, and they are not more than 20 milliseconds ping speed, at least 1 megabit per second for 3G networks, 5 megabit per second for 4G networks, and 50 megabits for 5G networks. The Kazakh Telecom and other operators have been tested over 780 times with imposition of fines of private operators. Very briefly about the novelties. Novelties include a regulatory sandbox, and sandbox means that novelties may be implemented like, for instance, Starlink. I mean, under the law, Starlink is not allowed, but under the sandbox rule, some Starlink terminals can be used. Another novelty is proposal to lift state monopoly over IXPs. There's a proposal to ensure quality control system across operators' networks to ensure and implement control over equal access to creation of virtual operators will be allowed, and also under the law, the communication lines may be provided free of charge to independent operators for their communication lines. And that's just one more slide about the national project. The national project is called Access to Internet, and the idea is to provide access to Internet universally across Kazakhstan at the rate of over 100 megabit per second. So welcome to Kazakhstan. Thank you very much.